Yo, my people, today is day 17 of 75 hard. I'm on my way to get some groceries because my house is absolutely empty. I've been eating a lot of the same foods recently, and I've put more carbs into my diet. I've been slacking a little bit with you guys, I can't lie, I'll be honest. Like, the first 14 days, I was doing good, like, I was on my shit. But the last few, just been messing around a bit too much or just been like putting it off. Like, I don't want people to think, the people who give advice online, they're like gods, bro. Like, they're not. They're literally like, they're literally just normal people like me and you. Being a hypocrite and making mistakes is different. If I'm literally just like doing nothing all day, or I'm touching myself all day and I'm trying to tell you guys stop touching yourself, that's ridiculous. I'm posting every single day. It's not like I haven't even been posting, but like, I just feel mentally I haven't been doing as much as I can. I think that's what I'm trying to say, innit? I'm gonna go grocery shopping. I'm gonna let you guys know what I grab. Mainly cheese and eggs. I need to actually write down what I'm gonna get, but I'm gonna go inside and then show you guys when I'm home. Yogurts, eggs, cheese, bananas, baklava. But it's not for me. I did plan on getting some more stuff, but eggs are so sought after, man. Like, when you've got like a pack of 12, they just don't exist anymore. I've got to get sixes and they don't last. Like, I'm literally gonna have 5 eggs today, and that's gonna be done. I'm gonna have one egg at the end of the day. If you don't go early in the flipping morning at like 8 when shops open, you're not getting a batch of 6 eggs, and the time is after 12, so I messed up on that part. Just had like runner beans. I should have put it in the video, to be honest, but I didn't really think about doing it because I didn't really think I was gonna talk much on it. There was not really much to talk about, just runner beans. Day 2 of wearing a coat while working out in a row. Don't forget that, in a row. I don't know what to say to you lot. Call me a pussy, innit? That doesn't really bother me, I can't lie. Doesn't really affect me. If you call me a pussy, here's what it is. You go work out for 75 days in a row. That's all I'm gonna say to you lot. I'm not a Christian, but I've learned a lot about Christianity. That doesn't mean that I can go run around and start talking on behalf of Christians. I don't even believe I can talk on behalf of Muslims. All I can do is talk on my experience and what I personally believe is right, an opinion. One thing that I do like about the Bible, and one thing that really stands out to me, is that it says comparison is the thief of joy. In the Quran, it tells you not to compare yourself with others. It says the same thing. The problem with society, with young people, with everyone around the world, you have something and then someone next to you will have something better, and then what you have is just basically no value to it. Let's say you're young, you're a child, not even a teenager, I'm talking you're like 8 years old, and you just had something for Christmas or something for Eid, I don't know, anything. You just been given something like a gift, and it's a little toy builder set. But your friend at school has a bigger one. He has 2, he has 3. When I was in school, yes, I used to celebrate certain things because I wasn't a Muslim. I wanted a pair of shoes, and they were very expensive, especially at that age, at being the age of like 12. £130 shoes is expensive. Even today's age, £130 shoes is a lot. I'm not even into shoes as much as I used to be, but you get the point. Expensive ass shoes. I asked my dad, look, I can't get these shoes. I then said to my dad, someone at my school has a pair, why can't I have a pair? My dad went crazy, and we still talk about it to this day. He was he was not happy about that. I don't blame him. The problem that I had, and the problem that young people have, is just you'll see something and you'll compare it to what you have and be no longer satisfied with what you have. You want what someone else has got. You either want what somebody else has got, or you just want it more because you don't have it. And when you do eventually have it, I don't really want it anymore. There is no content with what you have, with what's already given to you. And the lack of gratefulness just doesn't really exist in a lot of people. You got a car, you see someone driving in a nicer car than yours, your car that you're driving right now has no value. I don't care about it no more. I'm going to treat it like shit. I'm going to disregard it. Despite being in the position you're in, and despite being in the position that someone else is in, even though you're in a complete different position, even though you're in a disadvantage, you're still beating yourself up. And I get it. You want to be hard on yourself. I'm hard on myself every single day. But to the point when it's unrealistic. If you're 16, you just bought your new car, and someone in your school has just got a brand new Mercedes, and you're thinking, what the hell is this? What am I driving? I'm driving a broken Fiat. If you didn't see the car that pulled up next to you, you'd enjoy your car more. And now your joy has been taken away from you because you've compared yourself. You need to be able to be grateful for every single thing you've got. And I'm not even talking about possessions. I'm talking about your life. I'm talking about where you sleep at night. I'm talking about what you eat. Everything you have, the clothes you put on, the clothes you're wearing right now. Because there's always someone in a position, in a less better position than you, who would die to have what you have. A lot of people would forget that. And you're probably gonna go and say, why would someone want to be in a position? I'm always depressed. I'm always, thinking about I can't sleep at night properly. I'm constantly overthinking. That's probably what you're gonna say potentially. Even though you're constantly overthinking, or you might have a condition where you can't rest properly, you have what so many other people don't have. You have food, you have water, you have a roof over your head, still have family, you still have a phone to watch this video on, to connect with other people. You might say you're lonely, but are you really lonely, or are you isolating yourself? Be honest with yourself. Because I can sit here and say I'm lonely. There's no one here next to me. I'm choosing to sit here by myself. I'm choosing not to talk to no one on my phone. Choosing not to say anything when I go inside my house. Are you lonely, or are you actually just isolating yourself? Ask yourself that question. You're too busy comparing yourself to something or to someone who has more than you, which is making you no longer grateful for what you have. You have to literally drill this into your mind that someone is in a worse position than you, and they will kill for what you have. And stop feeling sorry for yourself, and stop beating yourself up, because that's not going to get you nowhere. As we grow up, naturally we improve. We get more knowledgeable, we might get more money. We have our ups and downs, we might be more depressed, we might think of a time when life was perfect. But if you was to go back in that time, if you had the chance to go back there, you still got to experience stuff like COVID. You still got to experience people dying in your family. You still got to experience certain chaotic situations, scenarios that's happening around the world. Regardless if you care or not. Learn to be able to be present in this life, and learn to be able to not live in your mind, and learn to be able to stop comparing yourself to other people when there are people who will die to be in a position you're in. You might not see it, you might not remember it. You might think of it every now and then, but not enough. If you remembered it enough, you'll be content with what you have. Life is very competitive, I get it. The house you want, car you want, we all heard it. We all heard Andrew Tate say how life is competitive. I understand that. I'm a firm believer of, if you're the best version of yourself and you show God that you want certain things in life, are worthy enough because you're working so hard, you're still loyal to Him, you will get it. And you won't need to worry about what other people are doing. When you compare yourself to other people, oh, he's making more money than me, when you focus on other people, the point of focus is on someone else when it should be you, because you're you. Your self-improvement. And don't worry about what your friends are doing. Don't worry about what social media is saying. And if you do it long enough, then maybe you can be the one giving the advice to other people. So I'm going to do the book talk in the car for you guys. I don't have the book with me, but I did read, and I'm going to basically give you guys a recap of what I got from the book. And it's definitely touched some stuff that I didn't expect it to touch, because of the way of the superior man is just like, from what I've read initially, the masculine, feminine energy. And what I initially thought, like, it talks very much about sexual desires and how to be a superior man, and what's a masculine man, I didn't really expect much after that. I thought that was basically like going to be the tone for the whole book. It's touched on some stuff that I've actually that I'm actually enjoying and that I actually want to talk about. It actually straight up just tells you to do what you love. And I know it's a very overlooked term, do what you love. Okay, cool. And earlier in the book, it said if you've got an hour to yourself, you should spend time doing something that you love in that hour. If you're putting something off, saying you want to play football and play basketball, not even goal related, not even like a financial goal related, if there's genuine a hobby, or maybe you've got kids, you want to take your kids out, or you've got your mum, you want to take your mum out, family, I don't know, it would talk about, just take them out in that 1 hour that you have, providing that is an appropriate time and they're free or whatnot. But you can still make something happen. You can still at least attempt. Goes on to talk about how there's no perfect time, and the people who live significant lives and lives that most of us
would want to achieve take action when there is no perfect time. They take on the action as soon as they're capable of doing it. Maybe when they learn something, when they can physically do something, they're not going to wait for the sun to shine out perfect shade. They're not going to wait for the weather to be perfect. So they just take action. And that's one, and I could relate that to even doing to this challenge. I have to take action regardless of what the weather's like, or regardless of what my family's doing, whatnot. Love your dad, but be free from his expectations. If not all of us, assuming you've got a dad or you've got like a father figure potentially, he's going to be older than you, right? Which means his childhood was probably back in the 90s. Back in the 90s, society is different to how it is now. University would be more common, getting a labor job might be more common, but nowadays people who are teenagers might not want to listen to that. They don't want to go to university. They don't want to slave away, essentially. Not saying there's nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying there's certain people who don't want to fall into that work mindset. So it says be free from his expectations. So love your dad, but be free from what he believes is right for you. And what I've taken from that is, yes, I'm sure, be respectful. Essentially, don't feel like you're tied up to what he wants you to do. Especially if you've got a father figure who's very masculine or very dominant, very hard to get by. That is that's very easy said and done. Not everyone's got the same father. Most dads, you'd like to think, they want whatever it takes for you to be happy. Some dads say, no, I want him to be like this. The rest of the family, they expect him to be like this and that. I can imagine it's not as easy as it seems. It's not something that you shouldn't just shy away from. You should at least attempt it. Have a conversation. Look, this is what I want to do. I love you, but this is what I believe is right. I didn't grow up in your time. This is my time. That's the vibes I'm getting from that. Men will do a simple job, something that doesn't take much mental capacity, and say this is working hard, but essentially is easy. I don't know what that's referring to, because I can say doing warehouse job is essentially is easy, doing the same shit all day, but it's hard. It's mentally difficult. Is it referring to something like that? I'm not too sure. Because you're doing a simple job, you can say it's hard working, maybe because it's a labor job, but the fundamentals and the foundation of the job is simple. Because it's simple, your brain isn't working, which means you're not reaching your full capability of your brain. So they're not given the gift that they have within them. They might be secure, they might be comfortable, but they're essentially just dead. It's like they're pretty much just programmed and they're not actually thinking, outside the box. They're just, focused within their small box. And this isn't living on the edge. This is just a typical person who doesn't really think much for themselves, and they're not able to give the gift that they have within them. Lastly, all men are afraid of something. Whether that be a phobia, whether that be maybe a bad dream they've had years ago they can't let go, maybe that be their faith, whatever it is. A man is scared of something. Doesn't matter if he's masculine, doesn't matter if he's feminine. And if he doesn't admit it, his friends will see it. Friends will feel you lying and they'll lose trust with you. I don't know if that means that you're lying, if you're actually lying to their face, or you're subconsciously lying when you're trying to convince yourself. I think it's a bit of both, because your actions could be different. You can say you're not scared, but then your actions be like, no, I don't want to do this. I think it's more of a subconscious thing, when you don't admit that you're scared of something, but in reality, your actions say something different. Your friends will notice that. So that's the stuff that I've picked up on this segment of the book. And there's something that you have to interpret into your life to really understand what it's really saying. If you think about your life while you read it, it makes more sense. If you just read it, not really thinking about anything, I think it's a bit harder to relate to. But any guy, any girl, if they think about their life while they read the book, it's more, you can interpret it more into your life and get a better understanding and be more relatable.
Absolutely dragged myself to get this workout in, man. I dragged myself out of the house to get this workout in. I was up till 5 o'clock last night. The night before, woke up at 9 the same morning, 4 hours of sleep, and I woke up and then, I was like, initially I was tired, but then, after I kind of knew where I was, once my brain reprogrammed, I was alright. And 13 hours later, 14 hours, I don't know, God knows how many hours, I'm in the flipping gym, but I finished back. I thought I'd just give you guys a check-in. I didn't get any footage of me training. I think today's definitely been the hardest in terms of getting to the gym. This is probably the latest I've ever even been into the gym. I've never come after 12 o'clock at night, and here I am. I came in like 10 past 12 in the morning. This challenge will test you. Like, it will make you do shit you ain't done before. And I'm here coming in the gym at like 12:15 or whatever past 12 it is. Luckily, it's only for 45 minutes, and I've done that. I've done my training. Spent around that. I think I spent around 50. I didn't track it. I didn't time it. I'm gonna head home. I've got chicken for my last dinner. Starting from tomorrow, aka the next episode, I'm gonna start tracking, and I'm gonna let you guys know exactly how much food I'm eating. This is at the moment 210-ish grams of chicken, and I didn't weigh the sweet potato, so I can only give you guys information on the actual chicken. 200 odd grams, about 50-ish grams of protein. I did say previously that I'm not really checking how much protein I'm getting because I've done it so many times. I've just gotten to the point where I've just got a rough idea in my mind. But I'm gonna snap out of that habit and actually give you guys some numbers, even for myself as well. Just following a specific diet and not actually worrying about the calories, but I think it's important to have a rough idea now. This is day 17, and I'll see you guys in day 18.